We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
Today on Cactus Wrestling, we will be comparing Team USA U20 team versus Team USA U23 team. If there was a dual meet between these two teams, who would come out on top? Let's dive through the matchups. Starting at 57 kilos, for U20, we have Luke Lilladall, and for Team U23, it would either be Max Gallagher or Marcus Blaze. Now, I guess before we get into this, are we doing, since these are freestyle weights, we would probably do this based on freestyle rules,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
This is a
feel like that's
freestyle event.
especially it's a world championship. Like, maybe if they did a combined title fight or title match for the
I'm
U.
almost thinking like a duel, but I feel
Yeah.
like freestyle duels can be sometimes tough to score.
Yeah,
I guess we'll
there's no
see if
like text or anything like that. Well,
see
there's a four.
how many matches they take each.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, okay. So I think it depends on who gets the U23 spot. Marcus Blaze, ironically enough, is on the U20 team as well. So he could be potentially competing in back-to-back matches for
Yeah.
each team.
He could handle it. He could handle it.
Yeah, he's young. He can handle the load.
They start at 61 kilos and then they end with 57. That seems fair.
I'm
Perfect.
gonna say that I'm guessing that Marcus Blaze is not gonna take the U23 spot. I think that he's gonna stick to U20. He's kind of talked about that 57 kilos was pretty tough for him to make. And in an interview, he's like, "Yeah, I'm not really sure if I'd want to go back to it." After he made took third at 57 kilo for the Olympic team. Um, so I think that as he continues to grow, I don't think we're going to see him at 57 kilo again. And I think that he's going to focus all his attention as an athlete on being the best 61 kilo U20 wrestler he can be, instead of trying to be a great U20 61 kilo wrestler and then cutting down another 4 kilos for U23s. I don't see it happening. So I'm gonna guess Max Gallagher holds down the spot for better or worse.
And then he texts Luke Lilladall.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, that was what I was
Yeah.
expecting.
Hey, in freestyle, it could happen.
It
Freestyle, you never
could
know.
happen,
It
but
could
it
happen.
won't happen. I would say Luke Lilladall wins um, against Max Gallagher. I think that
But Max Gallagher is an NCAA qualifier.
that's true. Luke Lilladall has zero NCAA qualifications right now. Zero, none.
Max Gallagher
but
lost to Spratley and Braden Palmer.
yeah. um,
It's such a
I
good brag right there.
That's a
I
great
think
resume.
it's fun that we're like, Luke Liddell went only 1-2 at the Olympic trials, where he beat Liam Cronin. But
And
he
again, Liam
did,
Cronin took what, like third that year?
yeah. Oh no, that year, because this is this year. This is the year. Because Forrest took fourth and Marcus Blaze took third. And we just talked about it, and then Gilman second, Lee first. But it's funny because he then beat Jax Forrest in 2 straight matches to make the U20 world spot.
Oh yeah, no, Cronin took fifth at NCAA's
Yeah.
his senior year.
Yeah.
So Lilladall did beat an All-American,
He did.
whereas
I would go Lilladall here.
Heck yeah.
yeah, I think that's yeah, Lilladall would beat Gallagher. It seems more likely that that's the case.
Let's
So
go.
61 kilos Marcus Blaze for Team U20 versus Nick Bouzakis of Ohio State for U23.
This is an interesting matchup.
Blaze is hot though.
Blaze also had a world championship. He won worlds in 2023. And granted, it was at U17s, it wasn't U20. But had he followed it up? Oh, he just took, third at senior level Olympic trials.
That's a weight class down though.
That is true. But I think it just shows that he's made another big jump.
Because I don't think Stefan Micic going 61 kilograms is necessarily gonna,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even
Yes.
sure if he's going to win 57 kilo this year.
Right.
Not all brackets are created equally, and I think he navigated a very tough bracket well. I don't know if he'll be able to do it again, so we'll see what happens with that. But Nick Bouzakis most recently took third at a U20 Worlds in 2023 at 61 kilo. I want to stick with Marcus Blaze being, having this hot run, beating some really tough guys.
Yes, but have you considered that Bouzakis lost 5-4 to Dayton Fix?
I mean, how many Worlds has Dayton won recently?
None. How many NCAA
Let
titles has
Dayton
he won?
fix wrestling U23s. Come on.
Oh
If
yeah.
If Dayton wrestled U20, he would do pretty good right now.
You think? You think he'd win the spot?
At U20,
You think he'd beat Marcus Blaze for the spot?
I'd like to think so. I mean, Dayton Fix is well. It's
I'd like to
what's
think so.
funny with Dayton is like he's so inactive sometimes. I don't know, like such a great athlete, but for some reason he like really works to be an inactive wrestler, and I don't know why. I think he's got so much talent, but so often his matches are so tightly scoring. Um, so I actually don't know if he would beat Marcus Blaze, to be honest with you.
I I tend to favor Marcus Blaze in this matchup, but Nick Bouzakis is such boom or bust
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
he could headlock him or throw him and make it interesting.
What
I think.
Bouzakis was round of 16 at NCAAs after an 0-2 finish at Big Tens.
Yeah.
So that's bust to boom. Well,
Big
sort of
move potential.
big boom.
I don't know. I'm still going with. I would have liked to have seen Cale Hughes versus Marcus Blaze. I think that could have been really interesting.
Oh,
With Cale Hughes missing weight, I think Marcus Blaze winning 2 straight against Ben Davino really shows that he is that guy. I just think that I feel pretty comfortable going with Marcus Blaze, and man, when he commits to a college, it is going to be big news.
I mean, the highlight of that college is like year.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
So we got two up for
I mean,
U20.
I kind of would. I want to say Bouzakis, but you two both already picked.
Sorry.
I just don't see the argument for Buzakis. I mean, he's a good wrestler. He's
He's too
scrappy.
inconsistent too.
Well, I just think that he doesn't rise always to the occasion as well as he can. And I've picked him a lot and kind of been screwed over by that. Where I'm like, oh, this is Buzakis. Like he's gonna get it done, and then he doesn't. I'm like, dang, dude, like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So 65 kilos, Bo Bassett versus Josh Saunders.
You know who I'm going with already.
I think I
Who'd
think
you
Bo
go with?
Bassett
Yeah.
picks him apart.
Yeah, I think it's not even close.
Really? You don't even think it's close? This is a guy that
I mean,
wrestles for now.
no offense to Josh Saunders, but
Yeah.
I didn't even know who this guy was before U23s.
I mean, Bo just continues to step away from like the competition. I thought him and Valencia could be close, and maybe Valencia was going to steal a match in there. I mean, this is a guy that, and I've gone back to it, has had senior level success already, international senior level success, and Bo's beaten him 4 times this year alone, and it's only June.
So here's Josh Saunders' junior season Cornell roster bio. His junior season, he finished the season 9-4, won his first 7 matches of the season at the Matttown Open and Patriot Opens, earned his first collegiate dual win 5-3 over Isaac Byers of Appalachian State.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty confidently going with Bo. Bo.
And that was his junior year, so he's like going into his senior season.
Okay, yeah, you're not helping.
Not helping Saunders.
Yeah, you're not helping him, man. I feel really confident going with Bo. I think that this U20 team is really talented. We've talked about this in other videos. I wouldn't be surprised if the first 3 guys are all in contention for a gold medal at U20.
And Bo has wins over actual college starters. Saunders hasn't even gotten to that point.
He has wins over actual college national champions. He teched Ashnault.
That's right. Yeah, he teched Ashnault. Yeah,
and it wasn't like he hit a lace. He took Ashnault down several times.
Yeah. What are we even doing on this one?
Schmalti.
Schmalti was not mobbing there. I'll tell you what.
Schmalti.
So 3-zip for U20 heading into 70 kilos. PJ Duke versus Pinheiro Johnson. Pinheiro is back.
De Niro is back and he's better than ever.
Hey, Panero's back.
Um,
You don't have the rest.
I don't. From what I've seen of PJ Duke, I mean, he's been equally as impressive as Bo Bassett against his competition.
I mean,
I like Panera.
so PJ Duke, I believe it. So for guys that watch the Journeyman World Classic this year, PJ won the 160-pound weight class. I think he tech pinned the 2023 U17 bronze medalist from Germany. And then how did he follow it up? Oh, he just dominated his way through. He teched Cannon Webster. He won the spot in 2 straight matches. For those of you guys that remember, Cannon Webster just last year beat Jesse Mendez, who was right in the mix to have the world team spot for 65 kilos and represent Team USA. I know Panero Johnson's a freak athlete. I know he's had some really scrappy matches with some tough guys in folk style, but I think PJ Duke, his offense is a whole different level. And when you combine that with his judo and his ability to throw and his comfort in throwing positions that Panero wants to find himself in, PJ lives there. And
I don't know. Did you see any of those clips of Panera wrestling? He looked on fire.
yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of free time, not really competing.
A lot of
Pinheiro has had a gas tank issue in the past, though.
He has, and he would break.
was resolved. He won anyway. He even commented on that.
Well,
I
he'll
saw-
just do it in the first period.
Didn't someone's like? I feel like his gas tank issue. I thought they said he had like a disease. Like I feel like I
remember hearing about that.
I remember this. They're like, yeah, like he has some disease. And they're like, oh, we're just catching this now. But I think PJ Duke is so much. Just it's tough because like everybody he wrestles, he just dominates. There's no one that he's close with, and so it's tough for me to be like, oh, how good is he really? Because you don't get to see him scrap with. It's just tough. He's really he dominates so much. I really think he's like a Bo Bassett-esque wrestler, and I don't think Pinheiro Johnson would be able to beat him.
Well, isn't PJ Duke the #1 recruit in his recruiting class?
Yeah. And he's beaten the brakes off of guys like, Will Henkel, who, is going to be his teammate. With PJ wrestled him in I think it was the Iron Man finals. And he hurt his arm or his leg. He was like wrestling with basically one limb. And he was just cut him. He was taking down Will, cut him, take down Will, cut him. And I was like, my God, he's wrestling like half a man right now. And he's still just turning it up on Will, who's a freak in his own right. I just think that he's just a different kind of wrestler. And again, another guy where I'm like, hey, I wouldn't be surprised to see him wrestling for a gold medal.
I wouldn't bet on Pinheiro for this matchup.
I would.
Topical humor.
I would. My money's on Pinheiro.
Noted.
Dang.
I guess I'm the tiebreaker here. I'm going to give favor to PJ Duke in this one. U20 for the first 4.
You guys are U20 homers.
It's about to change because Ladarian Dockett for U20 versus Hunter Garvin / Mitchell Messenbrink U23. I think, regardless, I think both of these guys beat Ladarian Dockett.
I mean, you got Garvin, who's returning All-American, took 6th. His 2 of his losses were to O'Toole and Carr, and the third one was a 3-0 match to Olenek. He beat Camamine, he beat Peyton Hall, 6 total wins at the tournament. Or you got Mesenbrink, national finalist, who got 1 career loss. I don't think Lockett's got it. Especially because Garvin had I remember hearing a lot of positive things about how he was wrestling the U23 bracket and was really impressing people.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn on this one.
Of course he is.
I think Messenbrink is going to actually take this spot. Because unlike Marcus Blaze, he doesn't have a fallback spot. I think Mitchell Messenbrink is probably going to be like, hey, no offense, Hunter, I'm going to bump you out. And if that's the case, I see him beating Lockett. Mitchell Messenbrink is a returning, junior world champion. He won U20s last year in dominating fashion. He teched his way through the entire tournament. He wrestled incredibly tough at senior level. His only loss was to Jordan Burroughs. Because I give Ladarian Lockett some issues. I think he has a gas tank problem. I have seen him at Super 32 and in freestyle just kind of take his foot off the gas and wrestle closer matches with guys. He lost a match that I didn't expect, and I even said that to you guys. Bo Mantanona, who is a great wrestler, but he beat D Lockett in the second match, forcing a third match, and then just Lockett attacks him. So I'm like, I don't know if it's a gas tank or if he's just sometimes complacent or what, but he is a world champion. Just last year he won worlds, and he's followed it up by beating other world champions like Joe Seeley. So I want to say if it's Lockett versus Garvin, I want to give the edge to Lockett because of his success more on the freestyle level compared to Garvin. If it's Messenbrink, I do think that his senior level success and just the success he had last year at U20s, again, teching his way through the field, I would give him the advantage over Lockett. So it kind of depends who goes there, but I think Messenbrink's going to go, so I'm going to go with U23.
I think I agree with Jack. I think Garvin would beat Lockett too. He made huge jumps and strides to get an All-American. I don't think anyone was pegging the 20 seed at NCAAs to finish 6th.
So we agree, though, U23s would win this week.
Yes.
U23 for the win.
Okay.
Oh, they're on the board. It's not a clean.
Let's see. 79 kilos, Zach Ryder versus Patrick Kennedy.
I wonder who Mike's going to pick.
Dude, Zach Ryder just beat down Gabe Arnold in 2 straight matches and then dunked on him by saying that he's not as good as Carter in the interview after.
Yes, I saw all that. But Pat Kennedy is not Gabe Arnold.
Yeah, it's funny. Gabe Arnold was definitely the starter this year for Iowa.
Yeah, Gabe Arnold was not the starter. Kennedy was.
And how did that work out for him?
I mean, he did okay.
Not bad. I mean, he won 3 matches at
he's a U23 champion.
Almost an All-American, yeah.
Yeah, it was a round away from All-America. That's nothing to, not a slouch.
All right, well,
especially when he easily could have been the 65 starter if Caliendo hadn't transferred.
But he wasn't. I don't know. I think I have Gabe Arnold beating Pat Kennedy in any type of matchup. And Zach Ryder just proved that he would beat Gabe Arnold.
Yeah, but that's a matchup thing because hadn't Ryder beaten Gabe Arnold in the past?
Yeah, once. Oh no, actually, yeah. Yes, he did. I think a year ago or maybe 2 years ago.
It's a mental block issue.
Okay, Zach Ryder has the freestyle accolades to back it up. He's a 2-time world bronze medalist. I don't think Patrick Kennedy has anything near that.
Well, has he even tried?
That's what I'm saying.
Is this his first freestyle attempt?
That he might have made.
I think this might be his first time trying to get some freestyle accolades, and he's made a world team.
No, he was on the 2019 world team.
So he is a prior world team. You're helping the argument that Pat Kennedy could win.
He won. Yeah, it was a. Oh no, this was for Fargo.
Oh.
He won Fargo in 2019 at 170.
Okay.
So I think he's tried for it. He just hasn't gotten it.
I think Kennedy beats Ryder.
I just don't see that happening at all.
I do.
I watched Ryder take apart Gabe Arnold in 2 straight matches.
Yeah, Gabe Arnold and Pat Kennedy.
Gabe Arnold's not a freestyle
wildly
guy.
Different.
But neither Pat Kennedy's not a freestyle guy. We just talked about that.
He's a U23
member.
World team member.
And Pat Kennedy is on the same boat. If he lost, he wouldn't be a U23 world team member. And the same thing if Gabe Arnold won, he would have been a U20.
Okay, but we're not playing ifs. All right,
yeah,
this is what happened.
The whole hard truth that Zach Ryder is a multiple-time world medalist.
Put
already.
your Penn State biases aside, sir.
I'm biased to say he's a better wrestler.
It kills Mike that there's the option to choose an Iowa guy.
It's not even look if this
Put
was
your Penn State hatred away,
if this
sir.
was Gabe Arnold and Gabe Arnold beat Zack Ryder and it was Gabe Arnold versus Patrick Kennedy, I'd be going with Gabe Arnold anyway. I just don't think Pat Kennedy is as good of a freestyle wrestler as anybody that U20s is offering up.
Pat Kennedy, he likes to surprise people. You know, like he
By losing.
Yeah, like when he injured Shane Griffith at Big Tens.
yeah, exactly. I
Pat Kennedy.
I think realistically Ryder
the
probably
answer
wins.
here. You know the answer.
I think Ryder probably wins, but just for the laughs, I'm gonna go Kennedy here in
For anybody
the
listening.
hypothetical. You know, sometimes you just have to make some you know,
Gotta
some
go with
pick'ems.
I hope they wrestle next year, and I hope he just beats the brakes off of him.
No, it doesn't matter because Nelson Brand said he was going 174. So
Yeah, Nelson Brands, who's 27 years old.
So wait, if Nelson Brand's going 174, what weight's Kennedy going?
Kennedy, he's gonna go 57.
Wait, what weight is Gabe Arnold going?
Gabe Arnold's gonna have to bulk up. I don't know. Well, Nelson
Gabe
Brand
Arnold's the
said
best
in
out
his
of those three guys. Gabe Arnold's the best wrestler.
he said in his head, in his
Nelson
mind,
Brands
he's
is an
going
All-American.
174. Brand said in his mind he's going 174. That doesn't mean that's not a confirmation.
My money's Brands goes 84.
Anyway, Josh Barr, 86 kilos, John Gunderson.
So
Or
Gunderson
U23.
wrestled some heavyweight action for you and I. That's all I really got for you.
I mean, yeah, I don't think this would be all that
In
close
in
either.
his sophomore season, he finished 5th at heavyweight at the UNI Open, going 2-2 on the season.
Yeah, that's great for him. I don't.
Josh Barr is just no offense. He's just
As a freshman, he was 10-9
I didn't expect Josh Barr to win the spot. I thought Aiden Sinclair was going
and
to
competed at the Big 12s.
So anyway, let's move on to Conor Mirasola.
Yeah, I think this is an easy Josh Barr victory right here.
Yeah, I don't think that Gunderson.
But this next one could be very interesting. Conor Mirasola versus Jacob Cardenas.
Well, Cardenas, the returning 4th place finisher.
And now he's going to be at Michigan. I think Cardenas, as much as Mirasola is like Penn State's next golden boy, I don't think I think he would have trouble with Cardenas right now.
Yeah, I
What
think
makes you
that's,
think? I don't know. It's so tough because like I want to look at how, at the freestyle success, compared to folk style success, and Cardenas is not as known for his freestyle, but he just took third at U23 Worlds last year in freestyle, so he was a bronze medalist. Conor Mirasola's had some big wins over senior level guys. I think his biggest was probably to, Max Dean, who was a national champion.
And he
but,
took down Aaron Brooks.
He did. He was the only guy to take down Aaron Brooks.
but Max Dean peaked his junior year.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think Max Dean is known for his freestyle success really either. So this is where folk style freestyle gets kind of tough. I would give the edge to Jacob Cardenas for sure.
Yeah, I think
I would go with Cardenas too.
And, Mirasola might have the better career in folk style, but right now he's not quite that guy compared to Jacob Cardenas, at least.
So 97 kilos, Justin Rademacher of Oregon State versus Massimo Endine or Isaac Trumbull for U23. And Massimo is going to be very interesting. He's a D2, D3, two-time D3 champion.
Two-time D3 champ.
I thought he was D2.
He's going
no, it's D3
at Wartburg, and he's going to be at Wisconsin this year for his senior year. I think regardless of who has the spot at U23, I think they would win this matchup.
Hey, Rademacher is an NCAA qualifier who did win a singular match at NCAAs. That being said, yeah, Trumbull I feel like would smoke Rademacher. And even I think Adine, like I think this was like his first time wrestling guys that are like gonna be D1 that he's gonna be wrestling next season. And clearly found some success and ways to win. So he's probably I think this is U23 all the way.
Yeah, I would agree with you guys there. I also think that Trumbull is gonna take the weight. I think it's a similar thing to Mitch Messenbrink, where he's like, "Hey, like this is my shot, to do some more freestyle wrestling. Maybe not what I wanted, but it's a great opportunity still."
Also, yeah, with the way he wrestled freaking Snyder, like
Yeah,
he gave Snyder some fits,
yeah,
which
oh, yeah.
was really impressive to see, especially the way he defended some of that
Yeah,
stuff.
he's got great
And
defense.
concerning too, if you're a Snyder fan for getting ready for Worlds
Yeah, you're like, is
or the
Snyder?
Olympics. So yeah, I would go with him for U23s, and I think he beat Rademacher.
So going into 125 kilos, we have 5 matches U20, 4 matches U23. Ben Keeter versus Lucas Stoddard.
And this is where U20s takes the cake.
Ben Keeter for the win.
What? You don't think Army's Stoddard, who's an NCAA qualifier?
No,
who did
Ben
match?
Keeter, 2025 NCAA champ, NCAA team champ, football.
And world champion as well. Yeah.
And world champ. Sorry, yeah, that was the third one.
World team NCAA.
Hey, don't sleep on the Hawks.
No, actually, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's Keeter probably would beat Stoddard in a.
I mean, he's also a defending world champion in freestyle.
And he's training for the first time only
Yeah.
free.
Like he beat a pretty impressive bracket at U20s where I'm like, this guy's gonna beat him. This guy's gonna beat him.
Granted,
I was
I
like,
mean, he had some scares though. Some of those
for
matches
sure. Oh
were
my
like
goodness.
1-point victories where he was down big and then
He
came back.
looked exhausted in some matches where I'm like, man, like what is going on? But yeah, I would say, I'm going with Ben for this one.
Does it hurt to pick the Iowa guy?
No, I'm not an Iowa hater. I don't know why everyone thinks like I love Iowa wrestling. I don't think the brand's necessarily taking them in the right direction. So I think there's some really good talent in Iowa that's been squandered. I don't like that the brands kind of like sell their souls for the Ferrari family. When there's some really talented wrestlers that they have already on the roster.
Don't bring them into this. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. But
you know what?
Iowa
needs?
Iowa
They
wrestling.
need another 174 pounder.
That's what they need.
Yeah, Pat Kennedy and Gabe Arnold,
Nelson Brands. They got Caliendo at 65. Let's just get another guy that's
bring Kemmerer out of retirement. Why not?
More.
So drop a comment down below. What do you think if there was a U20 versus U23 dual meet? What would you think the matchups would look like? Who would take them? We have U20 winning 6 out of the 10 matches, with U23 taking 74 kilos. That would be Messenbrink or Garvin. 79 kilos, that's Pat Kennedy. 92, Cardenas. And 97, which is Trumbull or Mausma and Endine. So drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on this potential matchup, and go Team USA.
Woo! Let's do it.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.